I'm resident editor with Ndtv, and I cannot claim to have specialized in sports, but my initiation into journalism happened with sports journalism, in fact with a course in sports journalism from Delhi University, that's several years ago, at least about 25 years ago. The rules of journalism are the same. What Sir was elucidating was very right. But I don't think the job of a sports journalist is limited only to covering the sports itself, but the larger framework in which sports happens, that is very important. In fact, even today, with so many schools not having playgrounds, the living areas where we are residing, not having the spaces for children to be able to play and discover themselves, and children having been restricted into homes, that is a very important issue I think that we need to tackle. And the mindset of parents, very good that we have a Sowmya Mishra here, we have a Saina Nehwal here, we have a Sindhu here, and because of them, the kind of culture that's come in, I saw immediately there was such a spurt in the number of children who were wanting to be getting into that sport and full time. In fact, whether it's a Koneru Hampi who was doing chess, all those people have been icons, and luckily for us, we have had those icons who were able to create that. But the issue is for us, I think, as concerned as journalists, is that sports is something certainly contributes to holistic development of personality. It's not just one individual pursuit of excellence. It brings in so many things along with it that it is very important for us to all not neglect sport, not just as an area for us to cover in journalism, and very important that we also look at the policies which the government has in the context of being able to encourage sport. And that is something that, again, I think every time some big sporting event happens, we wake up to the idea of what kind of infrastructure we have and what respect we have for it and how much we think it is important in our lives. Unfortunately, very underreported that aspect of sport, but I think increasingly whether I should say thanks to the big scandals that have happened in sport, that is also right now got attention. But sports as a career, I remember my husband also happens to be a journalist, and he's a someone who's very passionate about sport. In fact, he wanted to be a sports journalist. We as journalists tend to be generalists most of the time. Maybe IAS officers also wear the same cap, that we cover from politics to glamour to the field of sport. But that's something that uniformly excites everyone and uniformly brings in that enthusiasm and that thing. But to be able to apply the same principles, with Sir was very clearly mentioning about being able to engage our audiences, to be able to bring that enthusiasm and participation in whatever the sport, and also being able to reflect on what really needs to be done in the larger context so that we become a sports loving country, not just of a few icons, but of being able to play sport for the sake of enjoying sport and for what it gives to us in our life, to improve our personalities, to improve our life and improve our outlook towards life. I think that is the bottom line for me, and that's why I think sports is very important. While we need the stars to be able to give that inspiration, I think as a sporting culture we need in the country, in our lives, so that we are more happy individuals, more healthy individuals. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Many congratulations to you for making all this happen and being an encouragement to several youngsters as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. 1 minute I'll talk about the Sports Coaching Foundation, which is organizing this. I'm K.Saibaba. I think most of the people know that. You also visited our place. How it started, 1991, when municipal scheme came. I was a banker as a cricketer, I was working in a bank myself, in sports quota we joined. I was attracted to that beautiful scheme. They want to promote big way in sports in Hyderabad city in 1991 when Mr. Ndtv was senior IAS officer, was this municipal commissioner, and T.R. Prasad was the principal secretary. And I was attracted. They called me, then the place we have selected, we have to give 50% of children free of fees we should not take. And there's a non-profit organization I started, the Sports Coaching Foundation, with 3 children at near Masap Tank, which is the most sensitive place, where a lot of slum area, it is the First Lancer, Pochama Basti, Chaku Nagar, and Ovaisipura. Education percentage is less. We have selected that place, where it is very difficult to conduct anything. In a public place, it's very difficult. But thanks to bureaucrats, it's basically bureaucrats baby. They encouraged me from the inception, given some donations. The non-profit organization started with me. I was also afterwards I taken VRS and helped by my wife, because I'm very grateful to my wife because she's encouraged all these years. I taken VRS after working for 22 years in the bank. Now it is a sports coaching foundation, a small organization. From there, the slum area, 3 children are playing for the country. One girl playing for the senior cricket for India for the last 3 years, Archana Das. She took 10 years coaching. She's a daughter of a small-time vendor. And now she's working for a Western Railway. She's our product. She's playing for the country. And 2 boys now going to Chile in a football. They're all slum children. Now FIFA is sponsoring them. This is such a wonderful place, very small place, very, very small place. 1 acre, 20 cents land. We put 3,000 lorries of mud. It's a drainage. Unparalleled work done there. Only thanks to police department, bureaucrats, Chinnappa, like that, few people. Still, politically, it was it's all sensitive place, and drug addiction is there. Still, drug addiction is there. Police support is there. Otherwise, we cannot stand there. And we are proud to have a first floodlight project in the country, private sector. In 1994, APACB itself donated us. It's costing now, if you start with 1 crore of rupees. That like corporations, they promoted us. From senior IAS officer, they liked our work. Myself, my wife started there. And we have a income tax exemption. It's a non-profit organization. Also, we have a FCRA that the Government of India Home Ministry has given, but no much donations because government is supporting, government organizations are supporting, but not from big corporations like that. Because last 18 years we have a FCRA, not a single pie came to our account. We are having 600 children are taking coaching there, and 35 coaches are there in basketball and different games, cricket, of course, I'm a cricketer, and everybody is paid there. We have expenditure. Only 20% they pay the fees. Remaining 80% totally free there because of their less privileged children they can't afford. We are running from last 23 years like that without corpus fund. Thanks to bureaucrats only again. Whenever we need funds, little funds, they are helping through APIAC and other areas. We request corporates also should come to risk of the foundations because we are also having a one beautiful scheme that is Build India through Sports scheme. We go to the doorsteps of the government schools. Last 23 years we are going to the villages. Lot of things. In our Facebook you can see what work we are doing. We conduct 30 events in a year, totally free. This Barack Obama tournament. Last 4 years we are doing. Barack Obama, not only iconic figure, also a good basketball player. When he came to power, immediately put a basketball court in a White House. Every day, whenever he's in the White House, he plays 1 hour basketball. To that, we are conducting inter-slum basketball tournament. This is the 5th year we are conducting. American Council people, they come and give the prizes. They are also appreciating now. We are getting slowly recognition, but I request, thanks to media, a lot of support from your end, a lot of coverage, and we request more and more people to involve there, come there. What work is going on? It's a small 1 acre 20 cent place. 600 children are trained there. 600 different games. Not only cricket, it's all open drainage converted into sports complex. It's unparalleled work. We hope that with your help, the bureaucrats' help, I think more and more children will get more help. They can play for the country and get the knowledge to the country, sir. Anybody wants to speak? No? Madam, please.